How's it going, everyone? Andy here from 4K Downtime, as always, here again with Tom.
Hello guys.
So today we want to do a special video. Thank you so much for everybody who watched our Ni no Kuni Let's Play. Now if you want to know my thoughts of what the actual game is, I'll put the link to the description as well, so you can go back to check out my review for it, which I talked about my first 10 hours. I shared my thoughts with Tom as well regarding those first 10 hours. So if you want to know what my thoughts were for Ni no Kuni 2, go back and check that video. But today we want to do a special video where we talk about Onimusha, the series. Now, in case you didn't notice, a couple of days ago there was a file trademark that was talked about where Onimusha was actually going to be making a return. Maybe, we don't know at the moment. It's just Capcom has filed a trademark for Onimusha. Now, both me and Tom here are really big Onimusha fans. We really wanted the series to come back big. It skipped through the 360 PS3 era completely. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And no remasters either. There was no
remasters.
No remasters.
It's probably because didn't sell as Devil May Cry, probably.
Probably not, but there was 4 games on PS.
There was 4 games.
That's true. Devil May Cry
That's
had
true.
3 up until that point, and one of them was disappointing, not as good. But Onimusha, all 1 to 4 was all pretty solid, all the way through. So we're really excited, to hear that Capcom has trademarked it. Again, we don't know, are they making a new game?
We don't know.
Hopefully, if it's a new game. But what we're going to do today, we want to do a let's play of one of our favorite series. Aside from one of our favorite series, we want to play one of the best entries in that series, and that's Onimusha 3.
Probably everyone remember, just even because the actor Jean Reno,
he's
part of the game,
he's
so it was really exciting. One of the really rare game, not based on a movie, having an actor inside, a kind of Silent Hill with Guillermo del Toro. And
something said.
Yeah,
and I was at Norman Reedus, from
really few games.
So we're going to do a playthrough of the very first couple of chapters. So just to give you guys, obviously, our thoughts of, again, what we feel about the franchise and our hopes for a 5th game in the series, or if anything, maybe just a remaster of the very first 4 games. But we're going to start now. Tom's going to be playing it. And one thing, guys, if you don't want to hear our commentary, I'm going to upload the gameplay video by itself as well. So if you want to watch one with no commentary, I'm going to be uploading 2 different ones, one with us, one without us. So if you don't want to hear us talk, you just want to watch the gameplay, I'll do that as well. But yeah, we'll just...
There we go.
Yeah, there we go,
Jean Reno, Dante's style. Amazing.
And that's actually John Reynolds' voice. He voiced him here. He didn't voice his English counterpart, unfortunately.
It's really original game. Amazing intro and a lot of memories.
Oh yes, absolutely.
This European ambient around and the samurai inside this contest. It's really nice.
And this game also includes time traveling, guys. Without spoiling anything, but there's time traveling elements.
It actually looks like Jean Reno.
It really does look like
even
if you didn't know he was in it, but you just saw his face, you just saw him here, it's perfect, absolutely. You could recognize him straight away.
Yeah.
And this is one of our very first.
Nice graphic. Really nice.
Yeah, the FMVs are top notch, for the PlayStation 2 generation at the time.
It's really a mix between Devil May Cry and Resident Evil.
Yeah, essentially, I've always told my friends before, it's like Resident Evil with swords. There's pre-rendered backgrounds, and it's kind of somewhat tank control as well. And yes, at the beginning, it can be just boring. And guys, if you thought this intro was crazy, we didn't show the actual intro of Onimusha 3, but watch that intro. You could easily find it on YouTube. It's an amazing intro. Absolutely one of my favorites.
I think, I don't know, it didn't came out on the PC version, because that's the PC version, guys. We're playing actually on the original PC version. And I don't know why it didn't
show that.
Show the intro.
Yeah, but if you do want to check out that intro, just like I said, just Google it or YouTube it. Yeah, you'll find it.
I think we're gonna update actually.
Yeah, well, exactly.
After immediately.
Yeah.
After our intro, we're gonna.
Exactly. I mean, if you want, I'll find a way to show you guys the original gameplay.
Samanovsky is actually different.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit different.
Looks younger.
I think here he looks a bit better because, like, the thing is that not like in Onimusha 1 he looks subpar, but like the graphics really improved quite a bit from from game to game.
If you make 4 games on the same console,
yes,
doesn't exist anymore. This console making game, yeah,
exactly. Most
now it's every game, every saga is a
maybe maximum 3, like maybe maximum 3.
What we saw like recently.
Well, like you had Uncharted that had 3
Uncharted.
games.
Uncharted. 3 games. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Sometimes I think like 3 games is about
God of War.
Yeah, God of War had like 2 games.
2 games on PS2 and 2 on PS3. So I'm sure you're right. Yeah.
So now we're in like the very first official battle. Like, despite that we actually see John at the beginning, you don't actually play as him first. Like, you still play as Samanovsky.
Wow.
So as you can see that despite it being action oriented, yet you can totally see that the series itself is heavily inspired by Resident Evil. Like there's the way how you kind of move around is kind of like being kind of I tend to say like in a clockwise kind of gesture. Like
they changed. You know the difference between this one and the first one.
The souls, like.
Yeah, I don't know actually on the PC version how can I? Oh yeah, with that. Yeah, basically, do you remember in the first one, like the ambient around is like a little bit more like horror?
It was very horror-ish,
and this one is a little bit more 3D. You can actually see the color and they use for the
for the cobblestone.
The wall, even the wall. If you think the first one, the wall looks like a photograph. Put it there like Resident Evil.
Yeah, it was very.
It's difficult. I don't know how can I explain that. Yes, but trust me, they changed a little bit the style.
It was almost kind of like because the thing with pre-rendered backgrounds is like it's essentially kind of like you're putting a 3D model in what is essentially kind of like a photograph, essentially, like but you just modeled it like
exactly.
That's why a lot of the Resident Evil games back in India, many people tend to say that the background
here is everything live around. It's alive.
You could absorb that to get domestic magic.
You still remember, man?
Yeah, I still remember. Onimusha 3 was probably the one that I beat the most out of all of them.
Yeah, I completed all, but I was a kid. I don't really.
Yeah.
But I remember this
like one of the classic
piece of shit. Yeah, the kind of frog.
You know,
came out from Spider 1.
You think the funniest thing is that a lot of the enemies that you now see in Onimusha, you probably feel like, oh my god, I saw something very similar like that in Neo. Like, that's what makes Neo is kind of like based somewhat like the gameplay is quite different compared to Onimusha, but a lot of the enemies and those kind of like monsters and stuff, they do look very similar. I guess it's kind of like because obviously Japanese folklore and everything.
You think even the weapon would be from the first one?
A little bit different. I think the 3 that you're using, if I remember correctly, the 3 that you're using now was the original 3 that he used in the first game. Because in this one, I think Samanovsky gets like 3 brand new weapons for this game alone.
Yeah, because look, in the video it's like a normal katana, but you're actually using a medieval sword during the process.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like classic situations where the pre-rendered cinemas like will always have him using the same weapon, despite you might be holding something different.
Looks like Dracula.
The funniest thing is like Nobunaga obviously is a real life person. I can't believe that they took a real like historical figure. Yeah, Nobunaga is a real person. So they took like a real life historical figure, and made it not aside from being a bad guy. Like made it into
can you see actually the sword is not a katana. That's a kind of demon slayer from Devil May Cry. Look, I don't know why they did that. Oh, amazing. or you can actually interact with the ambient around, so you can smash some item. Guys, I really liked the graphic.
Yeah,
there's nothing I really like, and that's a game from 2005.
I know the videos aged really well, despite that it's well over a decade.
Definitely better than the PS2 version. I would say that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, then again, it's like obviously running on PC, like so it's to be expected to look better, but it's still aged pretty good.
Is this guy from the first one as well, or not? Is the new anime? I don't remember. Sorry, guys.
The thing is with Nobunaga, it's like he was heavily talked about in the first game, but he wasn't really like the main villain that you were fighting towards. I believe Nobunaga, if I remember correctly, he only ever appeared at the very end of Onimusha 1. Then he was the main villain in number 2, but in number 2 he wasn't fighting someone else here.
Okay. Oh, he's going to travel.
Yeah, like, that's the time travel.
The time lapse.
Yeah, it's time travel. Sadly, I think the story didn't really explain how this time warp just kind of suddenly happened.
They don't really explain.
If I remember correctly, like, no, I don't think they really explained like why was there kind of like a time rift that happened in that pulled Samuelski here and then like pulled Yonren over like to the other side. Maybe it did, but like I just forgot.
Even because he was killing the biggest enemy ever, and they interrupt.
Yeah. It doesn't really actually say yet like how they actually appeared.
Did they explain who Jareno is? The game is like he's a soldier, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, he's a soldier. He's a part of like kind of 007 French.
Well, military type.
That looks like Resident Evil 3. Look at the police car, like.
I know, like you see, this is how it is. Like it almost
Raccoon City, guys.
It almost playing it here, yeah, as Jordan literally make you feel like a Resident Evil game. I was so happy when
Farmers.
I was literally so happy to actually see Jordan here because like during that time, yeah, I've seen a lot of movies with him in it, so like I just
incredible.
Yeah, so then that's when he appeared. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I know him. But I never understood why, because they used his actual voice for this part. But when he actually comes to speak in English, they actually got a different voice actor. Yeah. And that's strange to me because it's not like John Reynolds can't speak English because he can.
This probably was the budget to translate all of the entire game, and they prefer to.
Because they hired somebody else to do his English voice acting.
Yeah, most of the time it's just budget.
Yeah, it could potentially be budget, but by then, yeah, you would not expect like Onimusha, especially the fact that you're having a third game here, you should think like Capcom could pump a lot of money into it.
At that time, yeah.
Because if it was the first game, I could understand, okay, we don't know is it going to be a success, let's control our budget a little bit more. But then, by the third game here, you would
probably, yeah. It's because there's a completely different game from the first one. I mean, probably the saga was famous because it was like all ambient in Japan, and they say, wow, what the fans is gonna think about a game like Onimusha in France. So they just
and to be fair,
it was a kind of Russian roulette for them. I honestly don't know if they, because with the fourth one, they completely like failed the saga.
Yeah, I found some enjoyment out of the fourth one. Still, like I don't think it's as good as Demon Siege, but I thought
it wasn't 2 discs. Yeah, I remember it was 2.
I think it was 2 discs. Yeah.
2 discs. Yeah.
I mean, I like Dawn of Dreams for what it was. It wasn't a bad game in my opinion. Just like for But compared to this one, there was clearly a bit of a difference. Because in the fourth one, they literally kind of added some things that seems a bit out of place. Like the very first boss you faced in Dawn of Dreams, it was like a giant samurai.
Yeah, the huge kind of cyborg.
Like,
I don't know what it was.
It looked cool. Don't get me wrong here, but it was very awkward to see. Like, because it didn't seem like a demon. It literally felt like a Japanese kind of mech. Yeah, so I guess you guys, you can really kind of tell that like it's one person pulled into a different timeline. Like, so he's going back to Asia.
I remember they collaborated. Yeah.
Who?
Someone else came. Jean Reno.
Well, I have to see. Like in a minute. Like,
guys, I have a big huge.
Yeah. He clearly has forgotten quite a bit.
In my head.
I still like remember quite a bit.
It's just an exchange, basically. What the hell is that?
He was from the first game.
Oh, you can actually kill with one.
Yeah, you see now you're holding the katana. You've lost your free the free blades that you had at the very beginning.
It's much easier than the first one.
I think with this one, you don't really lock on like it. The moment you start slashing it, it pretty much aims at your closest target. Don't forget the souls. Pretty really needed to upgrade.
You were like Devil May Cry in this case.
And there's a sense of urgency as well for the orbs, because if you don't absorb them straight away, if you let them float around for too long, they will actually vanish. So there's an urgency to try to get them as quick as you possibly can, because sometimes you could be like ambushed by multiple enemies all at one go, and by the time you're able to fend them off, the orbs might have already disappeared. And I've just seen.
They have like 4 legs, yeah, or I'm blind.
Huh?
It's like a kind of spider. 4 legs.
Yeah.
Anyway, the combat are completely different from the first one. You can actually move much good, easier with the analog stick. I mean, look, do you remember the first one? It was like cool.
Yeah, the first one was literally very Resident Evil. You basically kind of turn in like a clock, and then once you reach, you've turned to the point that, oh, I want to go straight, you press upward and that kind of stuff. So yeah, they've improved quite a bit. It's good to see that the series have actually gotten better as time went by. You get no more arrows. Oh, I believe you press R1 or something like that, you can pull your bow out.
Yeah. Amazing game, really guys.
And
I mean, the city is made really good.
Yeah.
Even the texture. Yeah, again, the 2005.
They also improve upon the enemies as well. They use some of the enemies from the very first game, but at the same time they've used quite a lot, designed a lot of new enemies for this one, which is great. Actually, speaking about that, what do you want from a 5th game, do you think?
It's difficult. It's really difficult because obviously I don't remember all the saga of this story, so I don't even know how they. Because how can you introduce again Samanovsky in a 5th game if they?
The way how I kind of see it right now, it's like, would it be about Samanovsky? Because. If I remember correctly, Samanovsky, for some of you guys who haven't played it yet, just to do a little bit of a spoiler here. So turn it off if you don't really want to be spoiled. But in Dawn of Dreams, Samanovsky is in it, but he's in it as another character called Tenkai. And at the end of that game, if I remember correctly, Samanovsky was still kind of because at the end of this game. He actually beats Nobunaga and he's sealed him inside his gauntlet, which is the one that you see holding now. And during the end of Dawn of Dreams, yeah, he was kind of on a quest to seal the gauntlet away because, again, yeah, it has Nobunaga's like soul and everything in there. So the fifth game can be about that, but I'm just not too sure whether or not if it was. If it's the best story to continue the series, or would they try rather like you know what, we're gonna like introduce the fifth game, but we're gonna do a new protagonist.
Second thing, I wish sure it's not like kind of remake.
Oh, you want? Or would you rather kind of remake?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know, guys. I didn't expect this news.
Yeah, we're definitely not. I think you should try to draw your bow. One like try the top buttons. I believe one of the top buttons draw the bow. No. Press start or haven't you equipped the bow yet?
Doesn't have any bow.
No. Oh wow, it actually doesn't have it yet. Alright. Oh no, there you go. It tells you how to do it. Push on one and next.
Oh, amazing.
There you go.
You can actually see on him and a bow, so I didn't even expect.
There you go, yeah. Now they're a lot easier. Hi guys, Andy here. So thank you so much for watching that part 1 of our Onimusha free playthrough. There will be a part 2 and that will be coming up real soon. As what we have said earlier on in the video as well, yeah, we'll be uploading a separate video which is all just raw gameplay. So if you weren't a fan of just listening to us talk all the way through and you just want to see the raw gameplay, we will be uploading that separately and shortly after this video as well. So thank you so much guys for watching. And as always, if you like what you see here, consider subscribing and giving it a like. If not, you can hit a dislike. And also just what we have said in that video, what we will do is we'll upload the opening trailer for Onimusha 3, which is one of the greatest trailer I've ever seen. So as soon as after I'm done talking here, you're just going to be watching it straight away. So yeah, thank you so much again guys for watching. We very much appreciate it. This is Andy from 4K Downtime signing off. Please enjoy the trailer. Bye.
I'll take care of him.
Galiganto.
We meet again, Samanosuke.
You shall not meet Nobunaga.
Yeah!